has said regarding the new LPG policy?
Well, the Supreme Court had rejected the federal government's plea for lifting stay against its policy on liquefied natural gas, LNG. They're saying that the stay had been granted by the Lahore High Court, and the Supreme Court, in this case, cannot interfere because an interim stay has been granted by the Lahore High Court. And any order before the Lahore High Court decides the case would not be appropriate. This is what the Supreme Court is saying. Mr. K.K. Agha had filed the petition and had contested the case on behalf of the federal government. He's saying that the prolonged stay would aggravate the situation. The LNG supply to people would be affected. The Chief Justice has referred to the Express Tribune and has observed that the same newspapers like Express Tribune are saying that this policy is bound to increase the prices of liquefied natural gas, and the Chief Justice is also saying that the rules and regulations were also ignored while prima facie were ignored while formulating this policy. So the petition has been dismissed, and the respondent, which is the federal government, has been directed to approach the Lahore High Court for an appropriate remedy.
Right. Now, Faisal, when do you think the case will be taken up by the Lahore High Court?
Well, that really depends upon the next case of a date of hearing at the Lahore High Court. Besides, the federal government would now have to file some sort of application in order to plead its case before the Lahore High Court. If the federal government decides that it needs to approach the Lahore High Court through an application for lifting of the stay, it may do so. Before and the case, the LNG case, would be taken up by the Lahore High Court in the due course of time.
Well, could you tell us about a bit about this new policy and its implications?
Well, the policy was challenged in the Lahore High Court. The petitioners had said that the LNG policy formed by the government would, number one, increase its prices. Besides, the petitioners are saying that rules and regulations have been ignored and a few will be favored through this policy. Taking up this petition, the Lahore High Court had found substance in these allegations and had granted an interim stay against this policy. And then the federal government later decided that it should go to the Supreme Court for lifting of the stay while the Lahore High Court continues hearing of those petitions. But Supreme Court is saying that unless the Lahore High Court decides, reaches a verdict, it cannot interfere with the case.
All right. Thank you very much. Faisal Shakil reporting from Islamabad.